Hey guys, it's Michael from Fire and Brilliance, and today's episode is a follow-up to a video that I made about 5 months ago. That video was titled, Natural Diamond Prices May Drop Fast, What You Need to Know Before Buying. Now, this is the reason why I'm following up with this video is because diamond prices have since dropped a lot. That was before the holidays. This is after the holidays. It's actually in the month of April. And as you can imagine, the diamond prices, and we're talking about natural diamond prices, are dropping fast. So let me tell you exactly what's going on here. Since 2022, the natural diamond market has undergone significant changes influenced by economic shifts, evolving consumers, as well as increased competition in lab-grown diamonds. Okay? And what does that mean? Well, if you are in the market right now and you're trying to buy diamonds, it's actually really important that you actually pay attention to this video, because then you could really make the right decision that's for you, regardless if it's lab grown, natural, or anything else. But especially if you are thinking about purchasing a natural diamond, it's very important that you pay attention to this video. Since 2022, natural diamond prices have peaked but have since declined, with prices as of early 2025, it has estimated that the drop in diamond prices have dropped anywhere between 26 to 30%. What does that mean? So let's just say, for example, if you bought a $10,000 diamond a couple of years ago, you may be able to buy it for only $7,000 now. You heard that right. You would have saved $3,000 purchasing a natural diamond. I can't say that it's for all natural diamonds, because obviously there's different types of natural diamonds when it comes to color, clarity, cut, and the works, but on average, it has dropped in price, anywhere between 26 to 30%. Now, the decrease is attributed to a reduced demand in different markets, in the U.S., in Asia, etc. And because of a sluggish global economy, people have less money in the works. And on top of that, people are purchasing lab-grown diamonds. As a matter of fact, it's getting so bad. I want to show you this video real quick of a Instagram post. What you're seeing here are the heads of some diamond dealers. Okay, we're talking about not the retailers, but the manufacturers, the suppliers, the wholesalers. They're talking to this one gentleman who is basically the CEO of a company called Rappaport or RapNet. And what his job does is that he takes a look at the entire market of the diamond industry, the natural diamond industry, and he pinpoints a price point on each diamond grade. Okay, so for example, if you have a 1 carat VVS2, excellent cut, and the works. So every single category, by carat, cut, color, and clarity, there is a price point on how much it is per carat. Now, what they're arguing over is that the diamond prices have dropped a lot, and they're upset with him for reducing the prices. So as you can see here in my comment, what I basically said is, I'll just go ahead and read it out to you. Everyone is ignoring the big elephant in the room. Lab grown is very popular these days, which takes away demand from natural diamonds. This increases the supply of naturals, which will inevitably reduce prices. Econ 101. It's a crossroad in the industry. Either get on board and supply a healthy mix of both lab and naturals, or continue to spiral downwards. Just my professional opinion. Now, that's something that I post. A lot of people in the industry liked that comment because, they know it's true. It's very true for many, many jewelry businesses at this point, especially if they are in the lab-grown space. They've already seen it. They've seen this coming in the last decade or so, such as here at Fire and Brilliance. We've seen it a long time ago. But for people that have not supplied lab-grown, they are starting to see it. People that are adamant about only supplying naturals, they're starting to see it. That said, something else that I do want to comment is that De Beers, I'm sure everyone's heard of the company called De Beers. They are the one who created the famous slogan, "Diamonds are forever," right? At one point in time, they controlled almost 90% of the market. Right. So if you don't know, De Beers is actually owned by a company called Anglo American. They are a publicly traded company that owns many different types of natural precious metals, mines, as well as De Beers. Okay, so they are the parent company of De Beers. And according to a few articles from The Guardian, diamond prices have slumped over the past decade because of the rising popularity of lab-grown versions of the gemstone. In response, Anglo, which is again the parent company of De Beers, has taken impairments of $2.9 billion on De Beers last year after a $1.6 billion write-down of the company in its annual results last year. Okay, so this drove Anglo to a $3.1 billion net loss in 2024 from a $283 million profit the previous year. So what does that mean? I mean, there's a lot of numbers. Let me just go ahead and quickly explain it to you. They're saying that, according to this article from The Guardian, that they made $286 million the year before, and because of the write-down of the losses in the value of their natural diamonds from De Beers, they had to write a loss of $3.1 billion. That is a lot of money. So what does that mean? So let's just say, for example, you own a jewelry business. And over the course of 10 years, you purchase $1 million worth of natural diamonds. The $1 million worth of natural diamonds that you spent on it, because of the fall in prices of natural diamonds, is now only worth, let's just say, $700,000. You can no longer call that $1 million worth of natural diamonds that you bought and say that it's worth $1 million any longer. You're writing it down. Okay, so you're writing it down, and you have to call it what the market price is. And if that market price now is $700,000, then that's how much the value of your diamonds are worth. And in this case, for Anglo American, they had to write down a lot of their inventory in natural diamonds, which drove them to a net loss of $3.1 billion. That's basically what it means, an impairment or a write-down, okay? So it's getting so bad that, according to Rappaport, De Beers' parent company, Anglo American, has begun meetings with several banks about listing the miner for an initial public offering, which basically means they're trying to spin off De Beers, okay? So Anglo, since announcing its intention to sell various units, they have already offloaded their coal business, their nickel and platinum assets, with De Beers being the last targeted division still looking for a buyer. So what does that mean? If they are able to sell off their coal business, their nickel business, their platinum business, but they can't offload their diamond business, that means there aren't anyone in the industry trying to buy it, or they still think there's a lot more to go down before they jump in if they can find a potential buyer. But because they can't find a potential buyer, they're trying to spin it off in its own initial public offering to make De Beers its own category and no longer have that tied with Anglo. So, it's unfortunate. I mean, in terms of the natural diamond business, in terms of why the prices have dropped so much. But, the writing's been on the wall, right? So the impact of lab-grown diamonds. This is something that I've been talking about over the last decade, about how lab-grown, from moissanite to rubies and now diamonds, is eventually going to take over the jewelry business. I wouldn't say call it take over. I would more or less say it's going to be a common thing where it'll be a mix of naturals and lab-grown. Well, lab-grown diamonds have gained market share, constituting 17% of overall diamond market in 2023. There are a few articles and some studies that are saying that the lab-grown business is almost as high as in the 40 to 50% of all engagement ring sales, as opposed to natural diamonds. Lab-grown diamonds have gained substantial market share, particularly in the United States, due to their affordability and the ethical appeal. The price gap between natural and lab-grown diamonds have widened, with consumers increasing on opting for the most cost-effective alternative. This shift has prompted traditional diamond producers like De Beers to adjust their strategies, which is something that I've just talked about, right? So I want to wrap it up by giving you a few things in terms of like what my professional opinion is, okay? This is, again, a follow-up to a video that I made 5 months ago. I predict that natural diamond prices will continue to drop unless it is truly a rare piece. Now, what does that mean, right? So, again, the writing has been on the wall. There are the newer generation, or the younger generation, the millennials, the Gen Zs, and eventually the Gen Alphas, right, will eventually grow older and start wearing their own jewelry. They have a different mindset than the boomers and the Generation X, right? They don't necessarily need for it to be a natural diamond. They just need to know that there's a sentimental value behind that piece of jewelry if they're purchasing it for an engagement ring, or they have other reasonings behind it. They're doing it for ethical reasons. They're doing it for greener reasons. And there are many other reasons why they're purchasing, or even budgetary reasons where they're purchasing it because it's more cost effective, right? So they don't necessarily care that it's natural. So my future prediction is that, yes, natural diamonds, or at least the common natural diamond prices, will continue to fall. And I believe it will continue to fall, and eventually it's probably going to fall pretty hard. That's just my prediction. Now, are there natural diamonds that will sustain its value? Yes, there are very rare natural diamonds. So if we were talking about large stones or large colored stones, red diamonds, orange, natural diamonds, blue diamonds, in large shapes and sizes, those are most likely going to maintain its value. But if we're talking about the typical natural diamond that you can find in your typical mom and pop shop or box chains in your malls, where it's the average diamond that is normally passed down, those prices will most likely drop. And then on top of that is because there's an influx of supply now. Many baby boomers are getting older. They're passing those down. Gen X are passing those down as an heirloom. So many of the younger generation doesn't even have to go out to buy it anymore. And if it increases the supply, guess what? The prices will drop. So my advice to people that are in the market now to purchase gemstones and jewelry is to buy what you love. Don't buy it because it's natural or lab grown. Buy it because you love it. Buy it because it's important to you. Buy it because it fits your budget. Buy it because of the reasonings that you love it in terms of why. And it could be ethical. It could be because it's a greener option. It could be many other reasons because it's not a blood diamond, right? And so buy what you love. Do not purchase a natural diamond because it's the ideal of a natural diamond. If that's why you like it, then go for it. But don't feel peer pressured because it's a natural diamond. That's something that you have to do. Now, if you decide to do that, that's up to you. But just know that don't buy it as an investment, thinking that the prices will go up. Nothing is guaranteed, right? There's something in the financial world. They say that past historical data or past historical results is not indicative of future results, right? So just because diamond prices have gone up over the past couple of decades, it's not guaranteed that diamond prices will continue to go up in the future. As we can see now, prices are dropping. So buy what you love. Don't look at it as an investment. If you are to buy natural, be happy about it. If you're going to buy lab, be happy about it. But the most important thing is to buy what you love. Now, if you are worried, then just buy a lab diamond. It looks the same. It feels the same. It is the same. The only difference that is not mined. So try to get the best deals and keep it for the long term. Enjoy it and pass it down eventually as an heirloom. Let me know what your thoughts are about this video. Leave in the comment section below, and I'll see you again next time. Goodbye.